The thesis is that if you want to understand the Bible fundamentally, you must go to African Egypt. Then, once you obtain and understand that foundational understanding, then you can proceed to interpret the Bible more accurately. Today, I would like to give another example of the necessity of understanding the Bible from an African Egyptian standpoint. The example that I would like to use is baptism. There is no baptism in the Old Testament. Well, Paul actually makes a symbolic example of in the Old Testament, but other than that exception, there is no baptism in the Old Testament. It is not present. Now, with this in mind, the New Testament, John is the one who baptizes Jesus, but John does not begin baptism. Baptism is an African Egyptian concept going back thousands of years before John. The earliest example that we have of baptism in African Egypt is about 2400 BC in the pyramid text in the tomb of Unas. In this context, baptism is a purification and spiritual rebirth. This means that the ancient Egyptians are the ones who invented the concept and the theology of baptism. Now, I understand that in our modern Protestant era, we have become very specific that baptism has to be done a certain way, otherwise it's not true baptism. However, the fact of the matter is, in Egypt, baptism had many methods. Sometimes it was sprinkling, sometimes it was immersion, sometimes it was washing. Priests did this before they entered a temple. There are many methods by which baptism was done. But in all cases, the idea of baptism was accepted if it was done in the context of sincerity and a method of actually purification. These kinds of ideas are necessary to understand how to interpret the concept of baptism. But the point here is that if you want to understand baptism or many other concepts, African Egypt is the place to begin to understand on how to interpret these principles.